Joshua chapter 17. The tribe of Manasseh. A part of the land awarded to Manasseh, who was Joseph's firstborn son, was given to Machir, Manasseh's eldest son and father of Gilead. To him was given, as fitting for a military hero, the country of Gilead and Bashan. Land was also given to other families descended from Manasseh according to their clans. The families of Beezer, Helek, Asriel, Shechem, Hefer, Shemida. These were the male descendants of Manasseh, son of Joseph. Zelophehad, son of Hefer, son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, had no sons, only daughters whose names were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They went to Eleazar the priest, to Joshua the son of Nun, and to the elders and said, The Lord commanded Moses to give us some of the land among our brothers and as our own. According to the Lord's command, therefore they were given land along with their male relatives. In this way Manasseh received 10 shares besides the country of Gilead and Bashan, which lies across the Jordan, since Manasseh's female descendants received a share in the land, along with his male descendants. The country of Gilead itself belonged to the rest of the descendants of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh stretched from Asher to Michmethah, which is opposite Shechem. From there the border went south to the spring of Tappuah. The land surrounding Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, but the town of Tappuah on Manasseh's border belonged to the descendants of Ephraim. The border passed down to the stream Kana. The towns south of the stream belonged to Ephraim, even though they were situated in the territory of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh passed north of the stream and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. Ephraim was to the south and Manasseh to the north, and both were bound on the west by the Mediterranean Sea. They touched Asher to the north and Issachar to the east. Within the territories of Issachar and Asher, Manasseh had Beth-shean and Ibleam, with their surrounding towns, as well as the inhabitants of Dor and Endor and their surrounding towns, the inhabitants of Taanach and Megiddo and their surrounding towns, and a third of the Nephith. But the people of Manasseh could not conquer these towns, and the Canaanites continued to live there. However, when the Israelites became stronger, they forced the Canaanites to work for them and never drove them out. The descendants of Joseph spoke to Joshua, Why have you given us only 1 share of the land as a heritage, when there are so many of us, because the Lord blessed us? Joshua answered, If your people are so many, go up to the forest and clear out a place for yourselves in the land of the Perizzites and the Rephaim, since the highlands of Ephraim are too small for you. The descendants of Joseph answered, The highlands are not enough for us, and in the plain the Canaanites have iron chariots, both those in Beth-shean and its surrounding towns, and those in the plain of Jezreel. Joshua said to the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, You are a numerous people and very powerful. You will not be left with only this share, for the mountain region, which is now forest, shall be yours when you clear it. All the land shall be yours, and you will drive out the Canaanites, despite their iron chariots and great strength. Joshua chapter 18. Division of the rest of the land. After they had conquered the land, the whole community of Israel gathered at Shiloh, and the tent of meeting was set up there. Among the Israelites were 7 tribes, which had not yet been given their share of the land. Then Joshua said to them, How much longer will you wait before going in and taking possession of the land, which the Lord, the God of your fathers, has given you? Choose 3 men from each tribe. I will send them out to make a survey of the whole territory so that it can be divided. they must divide the land into 7 parts, because those of the tribe of Judah have already their territory in the south, and those of the tribe of Joseph have their territory in the north. You are to survey the land in 7 divisions and bring your findings to me here, so that I can cast lots for you here before the Lord our God. The Levites have no share in the inheritance with the rest of you. Their inheritance is to serve as priests of the Lord, and the tribes of Gad and Reuben and half-tribe of Manasseh have received the inheritance beyond the Jordan eastward, as Moses the Lord's servant gave it to them. To those who were to survey the country, Joshua gave this command before they started on their way. Go survey and map the whole country, and then come back to me. Here in Shiloh I will consult the Lord for you by drawing lots. So the men left and went all over the country, making a list of all the towns and how they were to be divided into 7 parts. When they brought it back to Joshua in the camp of Shiloh, he drew lots to consult the Lord to them, and divided the land among the Israelites according to their clans. The tribe of Benjamin. The first share of land went to the tribe of Benjamin according to their clans. Their territory lay between that of the tribes of Judah and Joseph. The northern border began at the Jordan, climbed to the northern side of Jericho, rose through the hill country westward, and ended at the wilderness of Bethaven. From there it continued toward the south side of Luz, which is now called Bethel, then downward to Ataroth Adar on the mountains south of Lower Beth-horon. The border then curved, and on the western side of this mountain turned southward and ended at Kiriath-baal, which is now called Kiriath-jearim, a city of the tribe of Judah. This was the western border. The southern border ran from the edge of Kiriath-jearim toward Kassin, and to the spring of Neptor. It continued to the foot of the mountain, facing the valley of Ben Hinnom, at the north end of Rephaim Valley. It then went south through the valley of Hinnom, south of the mountainside of the Jebusites, and reached En-Rogel. It then curved northward to En-Shemesh, coming out at the circles of stones facing the ascent of Adumim. Then went down to the stone of Bohan, son of Reuben. He then went on to Chitev, in sight of the Arabah, and down to the Arabah. From there the boundary passed around the northern slope of Beth Hoglah and extended to the northern mouth of the Dead Sea at the southern end of the Jordan. This was the southern border. The Jordan itself was the eastern border. Such was the land given to the tribe of Benjamin according to its families, with the borders defining it. The towns of the tribe of Benjamin, according to their clans, were Jericho, Beth Hoglah, Emek-Keziz, Beth Arabah, Zamaraim, Bethel, Avim, Para, Ophrah, Shephar Ammoni, Ophni, Geba, 12 towns and their surrounding villages, Gibeon, Ramah, Beeroth, Mizpeh, Chipera, Moza, Rechem, Isbeel, Tarala, Zelah, Helef, the Jebusite city that is Jerusalem, Gibeah and Kiriath, 14 towns with their surrounding villages. This was the land given to the tribe of Benjamin according to their clans. Psalm chapter 96. The glories of the Lord, King and Judge. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bless his name, proclaim his salvation day after day. Tell his glory among the nations, his wonderful deeds among the peoples. How great is the Lord and worthy of praise. He is to be feared above all gods. For all other gods are worthless idols, but the Lord himself made the heavens. Splendor and majesty go before him. Power and glory fill his sanctuary. Give to the Lord, you families of nations. Give to the Lord glory and strength. Give to the Lord the glory due his name. Bring gifts and enter his courts. Worship the Lord in his holy place. Stand in awe of him, all the earth. Say among the nations, the Lord reigns. He has made the world firm, immovable. He will judge the people with justice. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Let the sea and everything that fills it resound. Let the fields exult and everything in them. Then all the trees of the forest will sing for joy before the Lord who comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world with justice and the peoples with fairness. Luke chapter 9, verse 1 to 17. Jesus sends out the 12. Then Jesus called the 12 and gave them power and authority to drive out all evil spirits and to heal diseases. And he sent them to proclaim the kingdom of God and to heal the sick. He instructed them, do not take anything for the journey, neither staff, nor bag, nor bread, nor money, and do not even take a spare tunic. Whatever house you enter, remain there until you leave that place. And wherever they do not welcome you, leave the town and shake the dust off your feet. It will be as a testimony against them. So they set out and went through the villages, proclaiming the good news and healing people everywhere. Herod the Tetrarch heard all of these and was quite confused, for people said, this is John risen from the dead. Others believed that Elijah, one of the ancient prophets, had come back to life. As for Herod, he said, I had John beheaded. Who is this man about whom I hear such wonders? And he was anxious to see him. When they returned, the apostles told Jesus everything they had done. Then he took them with him and went away to a town called Bethsaida to be by themselves. But the crowd heard of this and caught up with him. So he welcomed them and began speaking about the kingdom of God and curing those who needed healing. The miracle of the loaves. The day was drawing to a close, and the 12 drew near to tell him, send the crowd away and let them go into the villages and farms around to find lodging and food, for we are here in a lonely place. But Jesus replied, you yourselves give them something to eat. They answered, we have only 5 loaves and 2 fish. Where can we buy food for so many people? For there were about 5,000 men. Then Jesus said to the disciples, make the people sit down in groups of 50s. So they made all of them sit down. Jesus then took the 5 loaves and 2 fish, and raising his eyes to heaven, pronounced a blessing over them. He broke them and gave them to the disciples to distribute to the crowd. They ate, and everyone had enough. And when they gathered up what was left, 12 baskets were filled with broken pieces.